from zero, climbed the heights in the cloud, found new lights, catching clouds, living dreams. My life's now more than it seems. Family smile, endless gleam, clouds my song, won't let it stream. Shifting gears, the sky so high, data flows like birds we fly, diagrams in code, my heartbeat, understanding the cloud can't be beat. Family trips, moments pure, thanks to the cloud, life is secure. Seaside mornings, mountain calls, gave it all and broke all walls. Catching clouds, living dreams. My life's now more than it seems. Family smile, endless gleam, clouds my song, won't let it stream. Shifting gears, the sky so high, data flows like birds we fly, diagrams in code, my heartbeat, understanding the cloud can't be beat. Family trips, moments pure, thanks to the cloud, life's secure. Seaside mornings, mountain calls, gave it all and broke all walls. And broke all walls, and broke all walls.
Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing awesomely well. So today we have a special event. So we are a Cloud Whistler community, a community of like-minded people where we help each other do good in IT in all different areas. So we have people who are, some are interested in starting in IT, some are interested in leveling up in IT. So we have quite a few different people from a few different domains. And today we have our special guest, an industry expert, also very well known on LinkedIn, very well known on YouTube as well, Kevin. So Kevin will be guiding us today on how to get started in IT. He will be sharing his story as well. So I can't wait to listen to the story and learn more about Kevin. And yeah, so over to you, Kevin.
Hey, thank you, Ollie. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for setting this up. Greatly appreciate it. Should I share my screen or should I start dancing? Which one do you want me to do? Because the music was really good.
However you think is best.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you. Let me share my screen. Let's see here. So, and I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share screen one. Do you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So for you guys, I'm gonna go to the next slide. Um, so who am I? So my name is Kevin Fornario. People they actually butcher my name a lot when I'm trying to say my last name. Apolinario is my last name. But I'm a technical trainer. I do content creation. So I've been in IT for a really long time, probably about 10 years to say. I also have a YouTube channel called KevTech IT Support where I cover help desk, system admin, desktop support stuff. And I recently started covering cybersecurity stuff. And I used to work for the NYPD. So I did 4 years in the NYPD. I did 12 years in restaurants. I have 12 years of customer service in restaurants. So I worked from Qdoba, Chipotle, Chinese restaurant, pizzeria, Italian restaurant. Funny story, it's just gonna add it in here is I worked in the Chinese restaurant and when I would do the deliveries, right? I have the deliveries for food and the lady would write it in Chinese. And she said, Kev, you know where to go. You know where you're going. I'm like, it's in Chinese. How am I gonna understand this? I have no idea what you wrote. So I was like trying to do deliveries without understanding what the person wrote. And then we had an agreement. And I said, can you just write the phone number and I'll just call the end user or I'll call the person and figure out what the address is. Yeah, I could do that, Kev. So yeah, I worked in the Chinese restaurant. And I did the Italian restaurant too. I worked in a pizzeria. I was actually delivering pizza at the age of 14. So like at the age of 14, I was delivering pizza. I've been working since I was 11 years old. So I've been in restaurant for a really long time. Started at 11 years old. Worked at a supermarket, like as a bag boy, you know how you like pack the bags and everything. So I did that when I was around 11. Um, and then people would criticize my parents, just like, oh, you got this 11-year-old working like crazy, blah blah blah. And I didn't take it that way. You know, just like, all right, whatever, you know, I'm just gonna work. You know, so we didn't have a lot of money, right? We were poor. So like I had to work. We had bills to pay. So it's just like normal for me. So I'm also a partner with Boots to Books. So we do training for veterans, and I'm working on some stuff for veterans. So we're trying to get veterans up to speed with IT and cybersecurity. I'm actually super excited because in December, I'm running a cohort where we give out the Google cybersecurity course for veterans. And then if you're real serious about it, we're going to give you the Security Plus voucher. You could study it if that makes sense. So Boost to Books is dear to me. Like I do stuff for them for free. And I'm also partnered with Josh Mason, Paul Cummings, Simon. There's a lot of like free, like there's like InfoSec Live. I also work with Raíces Cyber, where we actually do training for Latinas that are trying to get into IT and cybersecurity, and we're partners with Blacks in cybersecurity, and we're partners with women in cybersecurity, and we're also partnered with women in cyber jitsu. And I literally just got an award like this year from Women in Cyber Jiu-Jitsu because just helping people for free and stuff like that. So they gave me an award last year. I was in Washington D.C. and they gave me an award and nominated. Like a lot of people voted for me and nominated me and handed me an award. So I'm excited about that. Um, and if you guys don't know about me, I like I'm on a lot of Discord, so I'm like on 40 Discords, something around that amount. I'm on like the CompTIA study Discord. I'm on a lot of Discords, Job Skillshare, just a lot of Discords that I'm part of. I'm partnered with a lot of Discords. So go to the next slide. So I started out in restaurant, like I said before, like you got to be really good with customer service. So for me, like what helped me a lot when it came to getting a job in IT was having those soft skills. So I got my first job in IT was because of my soft skills, not because of my technical skills. So long story short, I did 4 years in NYPD. I did 12 years in restaurant, and I literally worked a 14-hour shift while being in restaurant. I did 14 hours every day with only 2, 3 hours of sleep for a whole year. And then I talked to my dad, who was just happened to be sick at the time, and he was just taking dialysis. And they're like, "Can we, like, can I go back? Can I go back to a school and actually train and learn stuff?" And we made the agreement. I made an agreement with my dad. He said, "Yeah, you could do that." So I asked my buddies. This is why I help the veterans because I asked my veteran buddies about how can I get started in IT, and they mentioned the CompTIA A plus, which is an introduction to certifications. So I took my A plus, and I learned about the fundamentals, and I went to a school, and we started doing A plus training, and started learning about customer service, started learning about troubleshooting. My I guess my teacher put me in my out of my comfort zone because like I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I could do this, right? So my teacher put me out of my comfort zone because he wanted me to fix computers in the school. So when I was at the Department of Education. Before I worked for the Department of Education, my first job in IT was volunteering for a school. So like I worked for a school that does like CompTIA A plus training, network plus training, security plus training, and I was fixing computers for them. So I was upgrading them from Windows XP to Windows 7 at the time. And we had a problem because every time I would upgrade a machine, it would get a blue screen of death. So like, I would upgrade it to like 7. I'm like, guys, it's not working. And I just update it. And like sometimes you have like the blue screen of death, or you have computers that just wouldn't work for some weird reason. So that's pretty much how I got started in that first job in IT is learning for inside the school And then what I did was I talked to my I guess I talked to my teacher. My teacher's like, Kev, you think you're ready for a job interview? I'm like, yeah, I think I'm ready. So then they called the manager of the Department of Education to come and interview me. So he came, he interviewed me, and he said, why should I hire you if you have no experience? And I said, oh, I have customer service experience. I have empathy for customers. I have empathy for end users, which is why you should hire me. At the end of the day, the technical skills could be learned, but you cannot teach the soft skills. You either have it or don't have it, or you learn it over time, which is why you should hire me. So he ended up hiring me. He took a chance on me, and I got started my first job working for the Department of Education. And it was a funny story because like I didn't have a car, so I traveled the 5 boroughs of New York, 'cause I'm from New York, and I had my book bag. I had this giant book bag, and I had computer parts on it. I had like memory. I had hard drives. I had a motherboard in there in my book bag. I had parts for printers, and I was traveling everywhere: Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, Long Island, everywhere, just traveling and train and arriving to someone's school location and fixing their printers, fixing their computers, and pretty much that was my first job. It was the Department of Education doing hardware support, and that's how I got started in IT. And then and go to the next slide. And the thing is, like when I this is what how like this was just my experience, and I don't know how everyone else's experience was, but when I went on social media, I went on Reddit to ask for help. Literally, no one wanted to help me when I was first started in IT. It was like over 10 years ago. And then I asked my veteran buddies to help me. They helped me. They recommended the A plus. So I took the A plus. I did the free training in the school, and then I started learning my fundamentals, right? And then this is the thing I mentioned where I was like actually going through the process of training and learning with my teacher, and then he got me into IT after that. And I've been working. I've been in IT for a while. So I worked for the Department of Education. Then from the Department of Education, I got a job working for like Apple, right? Like Mac repair. So I did Mac repair for a little bit. And then from Mac repair, I went into an MSP company, which is a managed service provider. And when you go to a managed service provider, it's like a water hose of information because they don't limit your access. They just give you access to everything. You're like, here you go, Kev. I'm like, I could break this? Yeah, Kev, be careful with what you do. We'll give you access to this. So I was like an IT support engineer for an MSP company. And how I got that job is through building a home lab. So I got my third job. I didn't know how to do certain things. So like I went online. I went on Indeed. I went on like just searching for jobs online. I was in the process of applying for another job because I just finished a Mac repair job. It was a contract job. I just finished the Mac repair job, and I got my ACMT certification. It was an Apple Certified Macintosh Technician certification, and I wanted to get into another job. So what I did was I went online, and and everywhere I went on Indeed, it said Active Directory, Active Directory, Active Directory, Active. I'm like, what the hell is Active Directory? Right? I don't know how to do this. So then what I did was I built a server from scratch. So I installed Server 2012 R2 at the time, and I installed Active Directory from scratch. So then when I went for that job interview, I knew how to answer the questions. So the lady that interviewed me, she's like, "Oh, what do you know about Active Directory?" And I told her straight up, "Oh, I'm familiar with setting up Active Directory. I set it up from scratch. I'm familiar with password reset, account creation, security groups, NTFS, share drop permissions. And that's the reason why you should hire me because I see in the job posting you're asking for those skills, and I know how to do it. And that's the reason why you should hire me for this specific job." When I said that, I got the job after that because I showed that I had the ability to learn, and I showed that I was just interested in learning. The opportunity to learn was there. So then they hired me on the spot after that. So I got that job working for an MSP company. And then for someone like, this is just my experience. Like, and I have this slide over here. Like, if you want to get started in IT support, and I always recommend like either the A plus, get some fundamentals. Like, you don't know like how many people I talk to every day that wants to get into cybersecurity and they watch too many Mr. Robot movies, right? And I'm like, bro, you gotta relax there, buddy. You know, but hit the brakes a little bit because like he's asking me, oh, I wanna hack this, I wanna hack that, I wanna do this, I wanna hack the planet, right? And it's like, all right, you gotta relax there, buddy. Now let's see. So what do you know about operating systems? What do you know about networking? What do you know about TCP IP? What do you know how computers talk to each other? Like you need to know the fundamentals first, right? It's like if you're building a house, right? if there's no base, the whole house will fall apart, right? You got to have a strong base first before you go into the advanced topics. If you don't understand what you're doing, you're going to be in trouble. I'm just being honest with you, right? So that's why I always recommend, like, oh, use Professor Messer, use Mike Myers, use Tech G. If you're trying to learn like A+ stuff, build your fundamentals, build a home lab. Building a home lab helps a lot. It's like muscle memory. It's like when you guys, it's like if you guys set up AWS and you set up a server on AWS, right? And you install Active Directory on it. Now you know how to do it, and you can add that experience on your resume, right? It's the same thing. You can do the same thing with Microsoft Azure and GCP, right? And then I always recommend, like, someone that's brand new, try to volunteer. Maybe you have a spot you could volunteer. I mean, like, I volunteer for Rice is Cyber. There's Blacks in Cybersecurity, Women in Cybersecurity. There's like so many meetups and so many places you can volunteer. You can even talk. Like, I talked like 4 times already this year, right? So you could even go and do a talk. If you have no experience, go do a talk. See what happens, right? Go put yourself out there and talk. Like, submit a talk for B-Sides. Like, I went to B-Sides New York, B-Sides Chicago. I flew out of B-Sides Romania this year. Like, they literally flew me out and I spoke, right? It was just so random. But, the opportunities are there to talk, and it gets you out of your comfort zone, right? And that's I always say, like, your LinkedIn is very important. Your LinkedIn should be like, and we'll come back to LinkedIn, but your LinkedIn should be really on point when it comes to like connecting with people and stuff like that. So, as I for IT support, like, you want to build your home lab, you want to understand Windows 7 is not there anymore. Some companies still use Windows 7, believe it or not, but Windows 10, Windows 11, understanding about building a home lab, understanding about Office 365, like Office 365 Exchange admin, SharePoint admin, OneDrive admin, Teams admin, all of that you could get for free. You can get Office 365 for free. You can use the Office 365 developer program. But if you Google Office 365 admin, you can get that for 30 days for free. And then you could practice that, right? And then I interviewed some guy from the UK a few years ago, and he told me that's a little different, like in the UK area. Like, you gotta have like some sort of apprenticeship, and you gotta have some sort of experience. That's why this is added here as a note on the bottom right. And yeah, just learn about VirtualBox. You can use VirtualBox, you can use VMware, you can use Azure. There's like so many resources out there that you could use to get a job in IT and learn for free. You don't got to pay anything, right? It's just there, right? So these are just some examples. And then I should probably update this, but there's some examples of people that actually got jobs by building a home lab. This is like a real life example. So I have a Discord of 11,000 members on it, and people are getting jobs every day just by building a home lab. So that's why I talk about setting up that home lab. It gives you like confidence, right? When you build a home lab, you set it up, you're able to talk about Active Directory, you're able to talk about Office 365, you're able to talk about MFA using Dual, you're able to talk about MDM using MOS 360. When you have that confidence in yourself, you're able to actually able to like portray that and write that down or speak that in a way that the hiring manager says, oh, this guy knows his stuff, or she knows her stuff. I want to hire this person. They know what they're talking about, right? So that's why you build that home lab. It gives you confidence, right? When you go for an actual job, you could talk about it. Like, literally, a girl that I know, she got hired because she knew about ticketing systems. She actually took the opportunity to learn ServiceNow, and then she got hired, right? They're asking her, what do you know about ServiceNow? And she said, oh, I went on YouTube for 2 hours and I was searching ServiceNow. Then I created an account for myself and I started playing around with ServiceNow. And they hired her because of that, right? Nothing special. It's just showing the willingness to learn is very important when it comes to getting into IT. All right. And then this is like, you're going to set up like a home lab. Make sure, it's Pro Edition is why this is here. At least 16 gigs of RAM if you're going to set up a home. I mean, you could do it on the cloud too, and the cloud will be free. You get $200 credit if you're doing Microsoft Azure. They give you $200 credit. You can set up a server for free. You don't got to pay anything. Just make sure you shut down your instance, because I'm only getting a bill of like $2,000, right? It doesn't make any sense. So shut down your instance of your VM on Microsoft Azure, right? And then this is how you set it up. Like, you enable Hyper-V using PowerShell, that's how you would set it up. And then I'm gonna go back to labs. The labs are really important because, like I said, you get Spiceworks for free, you get Jira for free, you get Office 365 for free. As far as Active Directory is concerned, learn about account creation, password reset, disabling accounts, titles, departments. A lot of this stuff, like for example, updating someone's department, right? You may do that on Active Directory, or you may do that on Workday because a lot of companies use CSM tools like Workday or whatever, right? They use like these third-party tools. Obviously, shared drive permission is important because when you give someone access to a folder, you want to make sure that access is limited to them only, and not everyone across the firm, right? You have a folder called compensation, right? And HR has access to it. Imagine you give that access to IT and they can see how much money everyone makes, right? That's not secure, right? It doesn't make any sense. So you want to make sure you set up the right permissions when it comes to share drives. Understanding how to join a computer to the domain. You have no idea. Like some people don't know how to do that. Join a computer to the domain. Understanding what's a domain controller. Understanding what's a work group. Right. Those things are very important when it comes to learning IT. And you can get the ISO for server 2022 for free for 180 days. And you get the ISO for Windows 10 or Windows 11 as well. They're free. And if you want to extend it, you go to the command line, you can run the command line and extend it and use it even more for more days, right? So that's why like I go over these things so you can learn it for free. I don't want you paying anything. It doesn't make any sense, right? Take advantage of the free stuff first before you pay anything, all right? And then this is just my advice for someone that's trying to go into a job interview because a lot of people don't prepare for job interviews. So I always say research the company, show up on time, dress professionally, right? Don't dress like me. I'm wearing a hoodie right now. I'm not gonna wear a hoodie if I go for a job interview, right? It doesn't make any sense. Practice your soft skills and do some research about the company and make sure like make sure you do mock interviews. I'm not sure if you guys do mock interviews, but do mock interviews so that way you're more comfortable when it comes to answering interview questions. Are we going into a job and they ask you a question? Oh, what do you know about Active Directory? You're like, oh, I don't know. You can't say that, right? You got to have some sort of answer, like, have a script, right? Carry a copy of your resume. Don't look like you're Googling the answer. Because that has happened to me. Like I interviewed a candidate that was virtually through Zoom. I interviewed him. He looked like he was Googling the answer. I'm like, so what do you know about DNS? And he was like this. And I could tell that he's trying to look up the answer. Like, don't do that. And then like learn how to learn. I know that sounds cheesy or funny, but like learn how to sell yourself. Like a lot of people don't know how to do that. So like if you don't have that, and I'm not saying be cocky. I'm saying be confident at your answers. Like if you go for a job and you go for a job interview, and if you sound like you don't know what you're talking about, the hiring manager's gonna be like, yeah, I don't know if we should hire that guy. I don't know. And I see Sam. I'm gonna use Samuel as an example. Hey, Samuel, I don't know if we should hire this Samuel guy because he didn't sound confident on his answers. It sounded like wonky. I don't know if I'm gonna give this guy a chance. So like, you don't have that confidence level. It's like okay, this guy, I don't know if he's gonna be able to do the work or do the job. So you gotta be confident at your answers when you're talking, and they have to like you. If they don't like you, they're not gonna hire you. That's the other thing. And then the other thing that's important is learn how to give a real life example answer because you have no idea. Like I interview candidates all the time, and I interview people when I interview them, they all give me the same dumb answer, right? What is the ACP? Dynamic host configuration protocol. Okay, can you give me more information besides that, right? So people give out definition answers, right? You want to stand out, give a better answer than that, right? If that makes sense. So you want to stand out as a candidate. Try to tell a story. Try to make it interesting. Don't be boring, right? They have to remember you. If they don't remember you, they're not going to hire you. Just being realistic, right? Those things are very important. And then this is like thing with LinkedIn, right? So I didn't use LinkedIn. I knew LinkedIn was a thing. I didn't use it. I was not into LinkedIn at that time. It's over like 10 years ago, right? So LinkedIn was there, but I didn't use it at all. LinkedIn, and that's how everyone make sure you have a professional photo of you. Don't look like you're drinking tequila and you have a profile picture you're drinking tequila on your LinkedIn profile. Don't have a picture like that. It just doesn't make any sense, right? Build genuine connections, right? Talk to job recruiters. Sometimes you could bypass a job by emailing your resume to a job recruiter on LinkedIn. I have done that. It has worked for me, right? Maybe you could do that, right? References are very important. Like it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? I got my job because I knew somebody. I have videos on LinkedIn branding, and I don't like this thing where people just randomly add you and add you and add you. That's why I said like 1,000 connection, 100 connection. Like people just randomly add you. You don't even know who that person is. Like if you're gonna add me, right? You have to have some sort of value, right? If I don't know you, why am I going to add you? It doesn't make any sense. I have to know who you are as a person, right? It's like you adding a stranger, right? It's, oh, let me add Kev real quick. And then you send me a message of your resume like 5 minutes later. I'm like, bro, I don't even know who you are. Why are you emailing me your resume? Who are you? Right? So you gotta be like really like you gotta build that relationship with that person first before you give them your resume, or maybe they have a job, maybe there's a job position that you see that's open and this guy works there, right? And you just randomly message him the job, say, yeah, I want to apply to this job, and he don't even know who you are. Don't do that, right? So you want to build that relationship with the person, and how do you do that, right? You add value. How do you add value? If you see someone make a post about, oh, I'm studying A plus, right? It's just an example. I'm studying A plus. You go to the comment section, you reply to that person, some, oh, you studying A plus? Yeah, you can use Professor Messer, you can use Mike Myers, you can use Jason Dion to study A plus. So you comment on someone's post and you like their post. And you build that relationship with them, right? You comment, you comment, you like. And then finally, when the time is right, you email them. Oh, listen, can I bug you for a couple of minutes? Can I bother you for a second? Or this is part of the other slide, right? Like I said, like get yourself a mentor, right? You keep you accountable for your actions. They give you a career path structure to keep you motivated. Like people book calls on me all the time because I mentor people, and like me personally, if I see that you're not motivated, I give you a kick in the ass. I'm like, yo, look, wake up, damn it. Come on, let's do it, man. What are you doing? Don't slack. Why are you slacking? Right? Let's do it. Like, I'm like the David Goggins 2.0 for IT. I'll kick you in the ass, right? Like, come on, guys, let's get this done. Don't be scared. Let's do it, right? So you got to get yourself a mentor. The mentors is very important. What I always recommend you do, like if you see a job you really, really like, build a relationship with someone that works in that company, right? And then when the time is right, invite them for coffee. So I have a Zoom call with them. Zoom is free, right? For 30 minutes. Invite them for a coffee for chat. Like give them like a $5 Starbucks gift card, right? Do a talk with that person and ask him, how's the team? How's the manager? How are the people in that company? So you want to make sure you do some research before you go apply for a job, because maybe you go into a job interview, you get the job, right? And you go into this job, and then all of a sudden the manager sucks, the team sucks, the company culture sucks, right? You want to do all that research first before you go into a job, before you even get a job, right? So like I would reach out to someone that works in that company already just to get more intel on that specific company. And then you can do the same thing. Like if someone has a job that you want to get into, like cybersecurity or network admin or help desk, right? Just an example, you can reach out to them and it's like, can I give you a Starbucks gift card coffee? Can we do a one-on-one chat for 30 minutes? Because I want to know more about you. I want to know how you got that job, and I want to know what certifications you got and what are you learning right now. And you build that relationship with that person. You could do that too. That's a thing, right? That's how I handle the situation with certain things. I wouldn't have done this a long time ago, but now you gotta be a little bit more personable, right? Don't be a jerk, right? Don't be an asshole, right? I'm just saying, like, be nice to everyone. Reach out to that person and see if they can help you, right? Simple as that. Nothing crazy. No, there's nothing crazy out of it, right? And then yeah, networking is so important. There's like B-Sides London, there's B-Sides New York, B-Sides Chicago, there's DEF CON, there's Black Hat, there's meetups, meetups.com, right? Like I always recommend join social events. Like there's this girl that she did a coaching call with me. She recently got hired. She just showed up to a conference event and they hired her on the spot. And this girl is not good with talking, by the way. This girl has autism and she got hired on the spot. She brought a copy of her resume and she got a job. So, and she's telling me, oh, Kev, I got hired I took your advice, Kev. I went to this conference event, I took my resume and they hired me on the spot. They opened a job just for me. I'm like, that is awesome. So, going to those conference events and bringing a copy of your resume, it does help, right? Vesta Industry is free. So they do social meetups every Saturday, every couple of months, and it's free. So what Vesta Industry does is for civilians and veterans, and they put you in breakout rooms, and you got to sell yourself for 30 seconds. You do like a sales pitch. Tell me a little bit more about you, what you do, and what you're looking for, right? And they have hiring managers and job recruiters there. Like I have friends from Meta, Adobe. I have friends from Facebook. I have friends from Twitter that are job recruiters, and I became friends with them through Vesta Industry. And also, when you're done with Vesta Industry, you get 500 people follow you after that. Like once you connect with everyone at the end of the best industry career event. That's usually how that works. So you can connect with everybody. So you build your connections as well on LinkedIn, and it's free. You don't got to pay anything, right? That's why like I recommend, you learn your soft skills, like get better at talking. That's why I always recommend Toastmasters. Toastmasters are a really good example if you're not good at talking. Like I always been bad at talking. I got better over time because I have that restaurant experience. But for someone that has no experience, like get out of your comfort zone and see what happens, right? One thing is trying and one thing is not trying. Get out of your comfort zone and see what happens. You have no idea. Like you have no idea uh, how many opportunities you miss if you don't try. That's just how I'm gonna say it. All right. And let's just talk about how I got into cybersecurity. So I had people help me out. So I wanted to go into cybersecurity, and saying I want to go into cybersecurity is like saying I want to be a doctor. What kind of doctor do you want to be? So there's GRC, there's red team, there's blue team, there's purple team. It's like, oh my God, it's like so much incident response, SOC analyst, it's like so many roles. So I reached out to the veterans again, and the veterans reached out to me, and the veterans said, Kev, I got you. Come here. We had like what's like a bro moment, right? Like a bro, because I'm from New York, right? Like a bro. Come here, bro. I got you, Kevin. All right, cool. And they show me, oh, these are all the different jobs you could do in cybersecurity. Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And then I got hired from just being on social media, like on LinkedIn. Like I literally got hired because I was on LinkedIn. I didn't do anything special. I just network and meet people, and I met people online. And then the recruiter reached out to me and like, are you looking for a job? I'm like, yeah. Well, we have this perfect role for you. It's a SOC analyst role. Do you want to work for us? I'm like, yeah, that would be cool. And then then I asked how I got my job. I didn't do anything special, right? And then last but not, well, actually, there's another slide after this. But so my advice for someone new is master fundamentals. Talk to people who already have the job you want. So then that way you skip the line, right? Because you're gonna go through all these trials and errors, right? So you want to make sure you talk to people who already have a job. Build a home lab. Network with like-minded individuals, right? Network with people that are cool. If you're gonna network with someone, the guy's an asshole, yeah, don't be friends with that person. Just look for other people, right? Look for people that actually encourage you to be better every day. That's what I'm trying to say. Reach out to people on LinkedIn, create a plan of action. What I mean by that is like people go all over the place. Oh, I'm gonna get this shirt, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this. No, you want to create a plan of action. Create a plan of action and get the right certs and get the right skills. Because a lot of people get a bunch of certifications and then no one's hiring them. It's like, why is no one hiring me? It could be because your resume sucks, or it could be because you don't know how to sell yourself. You don't know how to talk in the job into. You may have the best resume in the world, but if you don't have the ability to communicate and talk to someone, they're not gonna hire you. You could be like, and I seen it all the time and time again. I seen it where someone is super duper smart, but their soft skills is horrible. Like they can't even talk to an executive level, because I work with executive levels, like C-level folks, and you can't go to the executive and he asks you, oh, so why do you want to buy this product? Why do we need this why do we need this product? Oh, it's because it's gonna block firewall 3389, blah 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 blah. Like the hell you're talking about? Speak English, right? So you want to be super non-technical as possible. You can't go to an executive like, oh, the flux capacitor is not working, right? It's like, what are you talking about? So you got to be super non-technical with those executives. Be super non-technical, and that goes back to soft skills, right? It goes back to how do you talk to people. And that was my story. Like I worked in a financial. I was in financial services. I work in cybersecurity now, but I worked in financial services. I worked for a lot of big companies, like Blackstone Group. I'm not sure you guys know Blackstone Group is really big. I worked with over 5,000 employees a day, getting bombarded with phone calls, help desk tickets, take it here, take it there, like 45 tickets a day. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. I'm busy. And then I went into a smaller company that only had 200 employees. It wasn't that bad. Then I worked in a Japanese asset management company, and the CEO was like, the CEO gave me his laptop, and everything was written in Japanese. Kev, Kevin-san, Kevin-san, you know what it is, you know what this is. I'm like, what? Change it back in English. I don't understand this. So I worked for them for a little bit, and it was an interesting experience to say. Then I worked at a fintech company. where they use a lot of like they use Bloomberg technology for trading for like the stocks of Wall Street. And then after that, now I'm in cybersecurity. So yeah, it's like a long spiel, like a long story of my journey. And then I'll give you one more piece of advice, which would be on this slide right here, which would be the free resources if you're trying to get into IT. Whole Cyberhuman Initiative, they do free mentoring and they give you a Security Plus voucher for free. You don't gotta pay anything. Just FYI. InfoSec, I was gonna say InfoSec IQ, InfoSec Live. They help you with security and they help you get started in cybersecurity. They have a Mighty Networks. They're simply cyber.io. It's Jiro from Simply Cyber. I know him. I'm buddies with him on his Discord. Women in Linux is free as well. And then this is like the frameworks. So you have the frameworks for the NICCS of different cybersecurity roles. And I have my own Discord. You come to my Discord, and I have my own website, which is kevtechitsupport.com. And I have different resources that are free, not free if you're trying to get into IT. A lot of free resources, a lot of stuff that can help you get started in IT. And yeah, I don't want to make this too long, but yeah, that's it for me. I'm gonna stop sharing. Do you guys have any questions for me? You guys could unmute yourselves.
That was amazing, Kevin. I learned so much in there myself. There's some key takes areas I like to mention what Kevin went through. You need to surround yourself with people who have the results that you want, plus like-minded people who are in the same journey as you. Like Kevin mentioned, networking is very crucial. And having strong fundamentals, if you don't have those and you think you can become a NASA astronaut without knowing how the ground works, you'll never be able to go into space. So it's very important, like Kevin mentioned, have your own lab, have a home lab. You can use VirtualBox. You can even use cloud resources nowadays. You can use AWS, Azure, GCP. It's up to you. And like also Kevin mentioned, it's very, very important. You need to have a detailed plan of action. And obviously, don't be all over the place because that's not going to get you anywhere. Um, and you need to research the area and focus on a strong base to get you started. And you can't do all this by yourself, especially if you're brand new. You definitely need a mentor. I mean, Kevin is a great mentor. I learned myself from him as well. So if you want to join his Discord, and I'll share his LinkedIn as well in the chat. So yeah, those were some great key pointers. And if anyone has questions, we don't have a strict room in here that you cannot unmute yourself. You can click on unmute and you can ask questions.
Yeah,
And I'll
if I was gonna say Ali, like if you have if you use a knife and fork to eat pizza, I may judge you. Just say, I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm just saying. Saying. And Kyle.
So that's Kevin's LinkedIn, if anyone
Uh,
wants to connect with him.
hey Kevin,
Hey.
it's Kyle. So I'm trying to get into the cybersecurity field. Just completed like a cybersecurity boot camp
Mm-hmm.
about three months ago. Now they gave me a voucher for Security Plus. Been studying that up for a few months. I actually had to reschedule it because I went back through the practice tests on CompTIA and I was not ready. I was getting like 68s here and there, and I could not like get past that. But I have like 10 years building automation experience. I work at Johnson Controls,
Mm-hmm.
doing like IoT stuff, um, and things like that. So, any advice for someone like me getting into it?
So there's your couple of things. You work for a company right now, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's a building automation, yeah, company.
Does that company have an IT department?
They do. I mean, they have cybersecurity, but I tried reaching out to them. They don't answer. They don't call back. They don't do anything. So, um,
You reached out specifically to who?
uh, someone in the cybersecurity field. I'm not sure the name, but Yeah, that's what my manager gave me, and just couldn't see, you know, to get a edge in there.
Do you have so every company has a address directory. Do you have an address directory of people that work in cybersecurity in that company that you
I
can reach out
don't,
to?
I
No.
don't. See, that's what I was trying to find, and no one seems to know where that is or what that is.
Got it. Yeah, so that would be like the first thing I would do is look at the address book directory and try to figure out who works in cybersecurity in that company, and then reach out to the manager or reach out to whoever and let them know that you're
Okay.
interested in cybersecurity.
Okay.
That's
Awesome.
what that's usually what I would recommend. And then if you can't do anything, you're gonna have to leave, man. I'm just be honest with you. Just gonna have to
Well,
look for another
yeah, I
position.
had figured that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
willing to do that. So that's not uh, a big deal.
The- so I would
But
recommend that, and then there are like different academies. Like if you're gonna do like if you're gonna build a home lab, like
mhm.
CyberWalks has a home lab for incident response. I mean, you may want to look at them, and then he also has a resume you could use if you're brand new to cybersecurity.
Okay,
So
awesome.
yeah,
And what about Splunk? Because of my cyber boot camp thing, that was one thing that I really did like working with was Splunk. And I hear that's like a coming up thing that's going to be really like valuable, like AWS is and stuff like that. Would you agree with that?
yeah.
Or
No, I agree with. I don't use Splunk in my job, but in my other
yeah,
jobs, I have used Splunk. So yeah, I agree with that.
okay.
Yeah, like you use Splunk. You could also learn Rapid 7. Not sure if you're familiar with Rapid 7.
Hmm.
Those are the ones that I would recommend. If you're more like the blue team like me, I'm more on the Microsoft Defender XDR and Sentinel stuff for Microsoft. That's what I deal with every day. So
Okay, awesome.
mhm. Yep,
Great, thank you.
yep.
Yeah, Kevin, that was a great talk, and I learned a lot, and I have experience in IT, so I thought that was pretty good. One point you did bring up is if you're in a company and you try to move into a department and you don't get any support, then that's very telling. So, it's sometimes that happens, and I know you might be, you know, like working at the company, but you should have support at the company. I don't know if you agree with that.
No, I
Yeah.
100% agree with you. If you have a company that you work for and they don't support you at all, it's just no, there's no point in staying there. And just remember, this is just my advice. People are not gonna like me to say this, but I'm just being honest with you. Because I'm very like, you gotta remember that I worked at Blackstone Group, so it's very cutthroat, right? I worked at cutthroat companies, right? So just remember that you're just a number, right? If the company doesn't like you, they can fire you anytime they want. So I look at it that way. I always look at it that way. I'm not loyal to anyone. Like I do my job and that's it. But just be careful with who you're working with. Be careful with the company themselves because they could fire you at any time. They don't have emotion. They don't care. They'll fire you on the spot. They don't care. So I'm just being realistic. I know that doesn't sound like a good thing to say, but I'm just being realistic. Companies are like that, so you got to be careful with companies. So yeah. Someone had a question in the chat. You can unmute yourself if you want, but what skill certifications would you recommend someone starting a career? Yeah, for cybersecurity, it's always going to be security plus is your default certification for cybersecurity. And then you want to build based on that. Like, are you going to be red team? So if you're going to do red team, you may want to look at the EJPT, right? Certification. That's not entry level. EJPT or TCM Security has their own certifications as well for red team. If you're trying to do blue team, then you will look at more of the Microsoft certification, like the SC900, SC200 would be great certification starting out if you're trying to do cybersecurity. And then for me, like if you don't know, like if you're like stuck, like this is what happened to me when I started. If you're like stuck and you don't know what you want to do, I always recommend try hack me or hack the box. But try hack me is more user friendly because you can use try hack me and try hack me gives you like different roles or different jobs that you could do in cybersecurity, and it'll give you like a good information on what's like the day of life of what's the day of life of a red teamer. And Try Hack Me is free. You sign up for them, they do some free training, and then you get like a good idea of like what you want to do in cybersecurity. Some people don't like blue team, some people don't like red team, some people like the GRC, government risk and compliance side of things. So it really depends what you want to do. And I'm going to tell you, like, figure out what you want to do first before you go into cybersecurity, because a lot of people jump into something, then they may not like it, right? So you want to figure out what you like to do. Hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, so yeah, red team is more like hacking, and then blue team is more like defending. That's what I do all day. Blue team is like I look at logs every single day. I do social engineering, so like I'll send you like if I see that you have a cat or a dog on Instagram, I'll send you an email on that. It's not real though. It's me sending you a phishing email. So I do test emails like that. If you I spend like half the day in logs because I get a lot of alerts from incident response. So we get a lot of alerts. So I'll send you emails like phishing emails. I may send you a free Starbucks $25 gift card, and that's not real, right? And I look at it, see if you click on it. And I tailor my phishing emails to what you do in your job. So if you use QuickBooks, I'll send you a phishing email in QuickBooks, just for fun. So that's just how I do it. So yeah, let's see someone else had a question. Government regulations, GDPR, cybersecurity. I mean, yeah, you should understand about so like if you get more granular over cybersecurity, you should understand about GDPR. That is correct. You should understand about HIPAA when it comes to compliance stuff, like HIPAA, like your hospital stuff, right? Those things are very important when it comes to cybersecurity. I just literally was in the process, and we just passed our SOC 2 audit. So like the audits are really annoying. Like when you do blue team, you got to be really good with your audits, and it's like dumb things like, does your company have 12 passwords or more set up in group policy? Does your company have a lockout policy? You get locked out after three tries, right? When you log in group policy. Does your company have password complexity, right? Those are part of the audits. So you have to have certain things set up. Otherwise, you get audited for that, right? So you get like like a tap in the hand. You can't do that, right? So that's part of like SOC 2 audit. Me and I work with Ollie. Ollie knows like we have like patch management. Those things are a part of the audits, if that makes sense. So yeah, anyone else have any questions? Or do you have uploaded your own content? I have some videos in cybersecurity, not a lot, because um I mostly cover entry level stuff. So people that are brand new, they watch a lot of my entry level videos. I don't know why, but my entry level videos, I get a lot of views for some reason. People like that because when I started doing cybersecurity stuff, it's like too advanced. And they're like, Kev, I have no idea what you're doing. This doesn't make any sense to me. So that's why like I don't cover cybersecurity a lot, because sometimes I do like these try hack me rooms and people are like, I have no idea I don't even know how you got that answer, That's the other thing. So anyone else have any other questions? Join your IT support. Like I don't have like that. So you gotta understand that I get coupons on Udemy that gives you free access to my course. I have no coupons right now. I usually post about the coupons on LinkedIn, so I can't really give you a coupon right now. He was asking me about the IT support course. I don't have any right now. How do you know when you're ready to ace a cybersecurity exam? Yeah, you got to do practice questions. So like the practice questions are like, I like for Security Plus, I like Jason Dion for studying Security Plus. If you get like a 80, around they say if you get like a 80, you should be good for the exam. Talking about Jason Dion study stuff for Udemy. So you get like around an 80, you should be good for the exam. It really depends what exam you're taking. And I'm doing a Security Plus study session right now for free every Saturday. So I suggest you probably join that as well. Um,
I keep it.
so someone had another question about cybersecurity trends. So I have I follow Cisco, I follow Microsoft, I follow a lot of different companies to stay up to date with technology. It's not I get emails every day about certain things that happen. So Amir, you want to ask me a question?
Yeah. Um, I'm I'm wondering, do you think that companies are willing to hire somebody trying to break into cloud in the first place and trying to specialize in cloud security with no previous ever whatsoever work experience, but yes, hopefully certifications and some projects, etc. But do you think that they might be willing or open to hire somebody with in a so critical position with no experience?
I think you should probably build your experience first, at least 1 year of experience, and then you could start applying for other roles. Like get some experience somewhere.
Okay, yeah,
And I know a lot of people don't like working in IT support or help desk, but a lot of people that start out in cybersecurity, typically they start in help desk or they started in like network admin or they started as a sysadmin. So it's like it's kind of hard to get experience if it's kind of hard to get a job if you have no experience. It's a catch-22, right? So it's like you got to have some sort of experience on that resume, and then you can start moving into other jobs. So that's usually what I recommend. And normally they eat the. I know it's gonna sound like contradiction, but like normally the easiest place to start for IT would be like working in help desk IT support. Usually that's like the norm, and then people move over to other jobs like network admin, system admin, cloud architect, all this other stuff. So yeah, and Amir, to answer your question too,
thank you.
if you wanna know more about and I always recommend this person. So I'm gonna put it in chat. So this is a website called Learn to Cloud, and it covers Linux Bash and networking fundamentals, programming fundamentals, cloud fundamentals, DevOps fundamentals, cloud security fundamentals, and they give you projects and they give you a resume that you could use if you have no experience, and it's free. So I recommend that website. And that website, I recommend. I'm on that website. My name is there somewhere on that website, but the person that created that website, she works for Microsoft, and it's free. So I see someone asked me a question. Let me see, there's a bunch of questions here.
Okay.
What cybersecurity certification? I don't have any certifications. I'm gonna ask me about certification. I have nothing. Do you believe funny enough, I use AI in all my jobs. So AI is it's an assistant tool. It's not gonna take away your job, but you should know how to use AI. Just letting you know. If you don't know how to use AI, you're out of the times. You're not in the trend. Everyone's using AI right now to make their job easier for them. So you should know how to use AI. Someone Yeah, for cloud security, yeah, you definitely gonna need certifications. So I took the Google cybersecurity course. That is not gonna help you get a job, but it's good information. If you're trying to take it, it's good information. And also it covers some security plus concepts. So if you're gonna take the exam, the Google cybersecurity course is a good, like, it gives you well-rounded fundamentals for trying to get into security plus. But it's definitely not gonna help you get a job. I'm just letting you know. But it gives you projects and stuff like that. So that's some good stuff in there. I am a recent graduate with a BS in cybersecurity plus taking security plus. I have a home lab with Kali Linux. Problem is I have no experience in the field. Also been full-time mom. Yeah, so if you get the security plus and you build a home lab and you can start applying for jobs, ideally I would do that. And when I said earlier too is try to network, right? See who's hiring, go to these conference events, and take a copy of your resume and see who's hiring, right? People are always hiring. You gotta go to the conference events. And I also recommend, like, if you're applying for a job, like the best companies to apply to are startups because they're always hiring, right? Go and look online on startups, companies that are just building their own company, right? They're always hiring for cybersecurity people or IT or anything. So look at startups. That's my friend got a job working for a startup company. So you may want to look at that, right? That definitely does help. Do you have set up home? Yeah, I have home labs on my YouTube channel. So you probably want to look at that. Is programming essential for a career in cybersecurity? I use PowerShell every day. So yeah, programming does help. If you know how to use PowerShell, it makes your life a lot easier. Let's see here. Okay, I have stuff on my YouTube channel. Okay, yeah. So I pretty much answer all the questions in chat. Anyone have any other questions?
Going back to what you were talking about the home labs,
Mm-hmm.
as I was working on building mine out, one thing I made a habit of doing is I would take screenshots of various tools that I was working with as I was going through the course that I was working on, so that during job interviews stuff like that, I actually had something kind of concrete that I could bring with me to display what I had been working on to kind of give them something visual to look at.
Yeah, no, I saw. So like, if you could set up a lab on GitHub, for example, and then link that to your resume, it definitely helps a lot. So you have like a GitHub, just put that link on your resume, and you also put your LinkedIn profile on your resume as well. But having a lab definitely helps a lot. I always recommend adding like creating snapshots of your VM because maybe your VM gets messed up by accident. So you can always go back in time, you know. So snapshots do help a lot. So I recommend doing snapshots if you're setting up a VM because then you're gonna have to delete everything and then start from scratch. It's kind of annoying, right? So have like a snapshots, have some backups there, you know. You don't have to deal with that stuff ever again. So
Well, and every so often I do go through where I'll just tear down the lab entirely and rebuild it just to kind of keep that knowledge kind of fresh, just to kind of ensure that just more repetition than anything.
yeah, I mean, I like the labs because like when I went for a job interview, I was able to answer half the questions. Like they asked me, "Do you know a ticketing system?" Yeah, I use Jira. You guys have Jira in there. Do you use Active Directory? Yeah, I set up Active Directory from scratch. Like the more you know, the better for a job interview, because then they don't have to train you, right? Because you know half the stuff already. So it's better that way. When you're doing labs and stuff like that, the more you learn it. And obviously, some labs you will not be able to do like Citrix, for example, right? You're not gonna be able to learn Citrix because you gotta be like a business to have access to that stuff, right? Well, you could maybe learn something else that maybe you could learn some other stuff that's in the job requirements, right? Obviously, you're not gonna know everything, but you have to at least know something, right? So that's very important.
So, like in mine so far, I've progressed from setting up different accounts, simulating password resets, things like that. I've progressed on to I've set up my own DHCP server in there. I've got screenshots of that as well. And more recently, I've started working on learning how to use SCCM.
Nice. Yeah, SCCM is always fun. I love SCCM. I used to use SCCM every single day in my other job. Every day I was and it make my life so much easier. SCCM. So
So yeah, that's
uh
been pretty interesting to learn.
yeah. Yeah, you should know about that patch management because if you go in so like I'm being audited right now in my job. So like if you get audited, you have to make sure you have the latest patches for CVEs. So cyber vulnerability exploitation. Like CVEs are very important. Like you have to handle and CVEs could be anything from like updating your Google Chrome because of a 0-day virus attack or whatever, right? So you got to update your computers every day or every week on a weekly basis because if you don't, if you get audited for SOC 2 Type 2, you get in trouble for that. I'm not sure if you know that, but that you could get in really big trouble if you don't update your computers. So yeah. Yeah, try hack me is good. I like hack the box, but hack the box is kind of like not user friendly. Like I'm talking about if you're brand new, hack the box is more advanced. They just give you a box and they want you to hack it. So try hack me is more friendly user, like it's user friendly. You just try hack me, it's way better than hack the box. Once you get more, I guess once you get better at try hack me, then you could jump over to hack the box because at least you understand it now, right? Try hack me is more user friendly. So
Oh, hey Kevin. So I just since you were talking about AI and startups, so I dropped this in chat. It's from Lakira and it's like a Gandalf game, prompt injection, which is pretty fun. You basically try to get Gandalf to give you secrets and stuff like that, and then you level up. So I
mhm,
just threw that in chat for everyone.
cool,
If you want to check it out, it's pretty cool.
nice. Yeah, like what what helped me get my job was networking, man. It's not nothing to do with I don't have any certifications. I got a job because through networking. So like people look at me like I'm like a ninja or whatever. I'm not. I'm just a regular guy. I literally just went and network and talk to people. And sometimes we're scared to talk to people, and I totally get it, right? It's just that's part of the norm, right? Maybe you don't want to talk to someone, but you have to you have to get out of your comfort zone if you want to be successful. It's just being realistic. So very important. Anyone else have any questions?
Hello, Kevin. It's
Hey,
Kamalpreet. Hi.
hi. Hi.
So I came from a IT tech background. So it's been 5 years I'm in IT tech background. So I passed the certification CEH already. And then I do some labs on Try and Hack Me. I also did Hack the Box as well. But it was very complicated for me to enter into cybersecurity. I don't know why. Might be it will be networking. I didn't do networking. I didn't contact people. Like, I don't know where to start again in cybersecurity as well.
Yeah, I mean, you could, like I said, you want to go try to go to conference events. I'm not sure where you live. Like, I'm gonna meet with Ollie at B-Sides London, so me and Ollie are gonna meet up in December, and I'm
Okay.
going to. I always recommend going to conference events, bring a copy of your resume, and then go to the booths and talk to people, and then
I
know.
did it actually. I am in France right now. I did it every year in November. We have some events. So I went there. I communicate with people. I showed my profile. I said that I passed the certification. I came from a networking background as well because I did bachelor's in networking and then master's in cybersecurity in project management and networking. During that time, I passed CEH. So I well presented it, but it's too complicated. I don't know why. To get the first shot in cybersecurity.
Yeah, did you go to like the vendor booths and talk to people to see if they're hiring?
Now it's like meetup events. So for the cybersecurity, so that's where online conferences, cybersecurity events, Microsoft events as well sometimes.
Yeah, like you have to go to the events and let them know that you're looking for a job. Like that's how I got my job. I went to one of the booths. They like, oh yeah, Kev, you could put me as a reference for this job, and I applied to the job, and I had a job interview after that. So it's just like you have to like talk to the booths, go to the booths, talk to people that are hiring in those vendor booths, and see who's hiring, and then see what happens after that. That's how I got my job. I literally went to the booths and talked to people.
Yeah, but now my certification is not valid. Do you think I need to do again CEH or I have to shift to another certification as well?
If you live in France, and I don't know what the I don't know what certifications they require in France, so I would do some research on that. If you need CEH, then do it. If not, maybe you need Security Plus. So do some research on that and figure out what certification you need for the area that you live in. Because in New York, I live in New York, and New York is more like Azure friendly. So like a lot of certifications I get asked in New York where I live, they ask me only for Microsoft certifications, not for AWS stuff. So like it really depends where you live. So you want to do some research on that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yep. I think someone mentioned in the comment about cloud. Let me just scroll back up a little bit. Oh, which cloud platform should we know? I mean, that depends where you live. Like I said, it depends where you live and depends where you're at. And you're in a company, like every company is different. And in my instance, I use all three. I use GD, I use Google Workspace, I use AWS, and I use Microsoft. I use all three in my job, my current job. So, you know.
Hey Kevin, I have a question. It's like more like an awareness type. If you can share some guidance on this.
Yeah.
I see. So since COVID, a lot of people are transitioning into IT. People who have no experience, but they have like professional experience. Even some doctors I know, they got interested in IT. They started studying about that, and they even got a job in it. But they did have a mentor. So, like nowadays there's so much hype, like, hey, you can get 100K salary, you should start learning cloud. Hey, you can get 150 if you jump into cybersecurity. Like a lot of these myths and people get hyped up with no IT background. What advice would you give them if they really want to break into IT?
Yeah, like for me is like don't get caught in the boot camps. There's a lot of boot camps out there that promise you stuff and it's not true, right? So don't get caught in the boot camps. A lot of companies do that for some reason. I'm not sure why. I had this one guy that he said you could get into cybersecurity after a month. I'm like, this guy's full of crap, right? So it's just like you gotta like do some research and figure out if the person's legit or not, right? That's the one thing. If they're legitimate. I'm not gonna pay $10,000 for a boot camp. This just doesn't make any sense, right? So I would take advantage of the free resources first. YouTube Academy is free, right? Go on YouTube, watch some videos, learn some stuff. And then if you really need a mentor, like go on LinkedIn and talk to people that maybe can you be my mentor, right? And then you have these communities, right? Like all these community. I have my own Discord as well. Like you can ask questions in the community, right? And build your relationships with people and talk to people. So like there's a lot of free resources I want you to take advantage of first before you pay anything, right? It doesn't make any sense. So that's my advice for anyone trying to get into IT. Like learn your fundamentals, obviously. Take advantage of the free stuff, which is on YouTube. Join communities like this one, like we're on right now today. And then yeah, try to get help from people that already are in the field, and that's it. That's pretty much my advice for that. Like don't pay $10,000 for boot camp. Just doesn't make any sense. It's dumb. So, yeah.
I mean, you can start a sandwich shop with $10,000. So yeah, I think a lot of questions have been covered. Any advice from IT support to DevOps? Everything that we mentioned in the meeting. So work on your fundamentals, network with people, do research on your location, go on LinkedIn, see what jobs are there, what their requirements is, what they're asking for, and then start your learning map according to that, or even connect with someone who is already doing what you need so you can get a better idea.
Yeah, there's a lot of like free. There's like a lot. Like my website, I have some courses that are paid where you can, some that are paid. And then if you go to my website, I have some free resources in there. Like they don't let you. There's some that you don't gotta pay. Like you just go into it and dive and learn, right? Like I have stuff for free for veterans. I have Discords in there. There's one website. It looks similar. It's not the same thing. It's two different websites. Um, and I have free resume templates if you're brand new to IT getting started, and they actually do work. I see people get jobs with just using their resume template. Like this one guy, he went from making $10 an hour to making $90,000 using my resume template. It's on Reddit. It's not like I'm making this up. It's on Reddit, so it's legit. So um and I just say having the right mentor is important. Like, and I had this. I have you a real life example. I had this one guy that I trained. This guy that I trained, believe it or not, he started out in T-Mobile. So he did T-Mobile customer service, and he got his first job, Ollie, in IT with no degree, no certs, making $75,000. I trained him. So
Oh, nice.
yeah. And this other guy didn't have the CompTIA A plus. He didn't have any certifications, but he had a computer science degree. Just remember that having a degree in IT is useful. It's not garbage. Just remember what I'm saying here, because people say, "Oh, I got this degree," it doesn't mean anything. No, that's not true. So this other guy had a degree, and he got a job in IT, making $95,000 for Wells Fargo, and he didn't have any certifications, and I trained him. So it's like your degree helps a lot. Degrees do help. I'm not saying they don't help; they do help. So it's just like I have like real life examples of people getting jobs. It's just having the right skills, having a good resume, and then knowing how to talk to hiring managers, because you got to know how to talk to hiring managers, and they got to like you. Like I said before, like the hiring manager does not like you. It's just like, what the hell's the point, right? And giving proper answers to an interview question. You can't say I don't know. You can't say You give them like a short answer. Oh, DNS is domain name server. It's like, all right, I heard the same. I heard DNS domain name server. I heard that same answer 40 times. Let's just move to the next candidate. Just give us the same answer over and over again, right? So people got to remember who you are as a person. And that other thing too is the important thing is like, and I know that sounds like really like old school. Like I always like to send a thank you email when someone interviews me. So I always send a thank you email to anyone that interviews me because they got to remember me, right? I want them to remember me. So I send a thank you email. Typically, when I have a job interview with someone, they interview me for a role, I send a thank you email. So, is a bachelor's degree necessary for higher level cybersecurity? No, like, um, I could get you with someone that works in cybersecurity as a red team person. But yeah, you don't like I see people get jobs without having a degree, like just having certifications they could get a job. So it's like it really depends. The thing is with me, like I hate answering questions like that, Ollie, is because if you grab 5 people on how they got a job in IT, you'll get 5 different answers. The thing is like, oh, I got a job because I knew someone. I got a job because I had this cert. I got a job because I had this degree. I got a job because I went to a conference event and the guy was just happened to be hiring. So you're gonna get five, 6, 7 different answers. It's not like an all size fits all, right? Everyone gets into IT their own way, their own unique story, like how I got into fast food from IT, right? Everyone has their own story. So to tell someone, for me to tell someone, oh, go get this cert, go get that cert, go get that cert, and you're gonna get a job. No, it's not. That's not how it works, right? Everyone's story is different. So yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that. Like yesterday we mentioned like how you just mentioned if you have a degree, make it useful. So yesterday we mentioned like you have certifications, you have these skills, but you're not doing anything about it. You're not marketing yourself properly, you're not connecting with the right people. So no wonder you're stuck and having no job in IT. So if you're learning something and you have achieved something, you need to make that valuable. You need to be able to, do something with it instead of that piece of paper just sitting in the house. Make it valuable. Hey, you spend your blood, sweat, and tears to get a degree. Make it valuable.
I 100% agree with you. Anyone else have any questions? I'm waiting for Ali to play that music again so I can start dancing again.
You know what? I'm gonna have the music video ready in like 3, 4 days. The video animator is still working on it, so he's making like a really cool cartoon. Someone who had no job and he got into IT, and then the stuff song kicks in, and it's gonna be really cool. I'm gonna share the video with everyone.
You're gonna have Ali with the headset that I have on. He's gonna be like a DJ and just playing music.
So yeah, it was a great session. Once again, special thanks to Kevin for taking time out. I mean, Kevin is so busy. Every time I message him, he's literally taking a flight every other weekend. And luckily, this weekend, Kevin didn't had a flight, so he managed to take some time out. So I really appreciate that. And for everyone for joining, thank you so much. This will be shared on YouTube. It will be shared on LinkedIn, so you can catch up to it. You can share it with your colleagues, your peers, your family members, people you want to help, or maybe they want to connect with Kevin, they want to connect with us. So yeah, I mean, we are good people. We like to network and we like to help people as well, but you need to be willing to learn as well. Like they say you only get guide people only give guidance to people who truly need it. Like some people just want to play games, so make sure you're serious about it before you give us a shout. So yeah.
The nickname Ali I gave you, DJ Chai Tea.
And
Like
yeah,
that, that
me and Kevin are also going to B-sides this London this December, sorry. If anyone wants to join in, give us a shout, give us a DM. And the tickets normally sell out very fast. Like Kevin made me aware about that, so I'm gonna
yeah,
be
I was gone.
yeah. So it's I think they're opening the window on the 1st of next month, which is in a few days. So keep an eye if you're gonna be in the UK, and if you can take time out, we can catch up and we can hang out.
Yeah, there was this guy's like, damn, you're always busy. Well, what happened? And I'm like, no Habibi for me. Oh man.
Yeah, cool stuff. Kevin, I don't think anyone has any questions. Should we wrap it up or give it a
Yep.
few minutes, or maybe
Yeah.
play that song if you want?
Please don't stop the music.
Thanks, Ali. Thanks, Kevin, for today, man.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Well, yeah, Amir just spoke. He's actually doing pretty good, Kevin. He's from California, and the projects he's sharing nowadays on LinkedIn, I mean, it's blowing my mind. I mean, what he's doing is he's actually customizing it with AI and ML, and he's using his own initiatives in it. Like, which is that space project you just recently made, Amir? Can you talk about it a bit?
Yeah, the is it the API that's calling NASA's APOD, Astronomy Picture of the Day? Is it this one? Because I do have a lot of astronomy projects. I'm a big astronomy guy.
Yeah, maybe Amir implanted ChatGPT in his brain. That's why he's coming up with all these crazy ideas.
You know, it's I always tell people like it's always good to ask ChatGPT for projects and try. I mean, sometimes it's a little challenging, but I think this is the best part about it, to be challenged. This is how you build nice projects. When you get ideas from a generative AI like ChatGPT and try to build them. And this will give you great projects. Like I do projects like every other day, and it's always, nice to build things. But yeah, one of the projects I made is a I call an API for NASA, which is APOD, Astronomy Picture of the Day, which gives the user information about a picture, an astronomy picture from 1995 till today. That's around 12,000 pictures. It's a cool, fun project. So I build different things. I'm AWS enthusiast, certified solutions architect and developer too. So yeah, and that was another thing I wanted to add is I hear a lot of people asking about the cloud, as you mentioned, like what exact should I study AWS? Should I do CGP? So whatever. So should I do Azure? I think mastering one of them first, being really good at one, makes the others very easy. This is just an
Yeah,
advice.
no, I agree with you 100%. If you know how to use one, you should be able to know how to use the other one. It looks different. It's going to look different, but
But
you
same technology, same everything,
yeah,
behind the scenes.
different
Uh,
name, same function.
Yep, exactly. But we're still dealing with the storage, we're still dealing with instances, with virtual machines, it's the same thing. Just master one of them and you'll be fine with the others.
Yeah, exactly. And I make this inside joke with Ali. I call Microsoft Office 364 because the stuff doesn't work, stuff is broken, or they always changing the button and layout names, which is like kind of annoying. It's like, oh, you wake up one day, it's called resource group, and the next day it's called something else, right? It's like, come
And
on,
Microsoft
guys.
loves that, yeah.
Yeah, come on, guys. You guys love changing your names. It's like you're trying to avoid copyright infringement or something. I don't know. It's crazy.
Remember when we used to install Windows Vista, then the second week I mean, they still do it. Then the next week they have 300 updates. Like, man, why did you make it in the first place?
Yeah, exactly. My in my other job, we had AI would go into your Slack channel. We had Slack, and then AI would go into your Confluence page, and then
Uh,
give the customer a PDF or whatever. So how to add a printer? They'll go to the Confluence page, and the bot will go and grab that page and give it to the end user. They don't gotta bother help desk.
uh-huh.
And that same AI in Slack also has the ability to unlock your account on Active Directory. You don't gotta do anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting what you can do in the cloud now using, models, especially, advanced models now. I've been using Cloud 3.5 Sonnet, and it's crazy. The capabilities of this model is crazy, you know. I built a smart analyzer, image analyzer a few days ago, and an image generator too. You know, something like Midjourney. I made my own version of it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's interesting what you can do with it, as long as it's ethical. I insist on this. There's a lot of unethical uses now.
Yeah, I use automation for new hires. So like if a new hire start Monday morning, they get added automatically to Microsoft groups automatically. I don't gotta do anything. So
There you go.
it's set up that way.
Automation is everything.
Yeah, I set it up that way in my job, my current job. So we have automation for like distribution groups. They
Uh-huh.
just get added automatically. I do absolutely nothing. So it's just like manual stuff would be like 2 or 3 groups and that's it. And the new hire's all set. I'm not gonna do anything. So
That's everything. Automation is everything. If you're good
yeah.
in automation, you're good to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guy so we have a system admin. He created that automation for Monday. This is a Monday app. You go to the Monday app, you fill out a new hire form. They fill out a new hire form, you hit submit, and it goes through Slack. You approve it, and the account gets created manually. You don't gotta do anything. It gets created, and then all the groups get added to it to that person that's a new hire. And I don't gotta do anything. It's the same thing with termination. You go into the Monday app, you terminate the employee, and they get removed from all the groups automatically in the cloud.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
Automation is everything. Especially
Yep.
it produces a lot of human mistakes.
Yep.
So
hmm
this automation.
Yep. But I'm gonna head out, guys. I'll see you guys later. I gotta get on a call. So I'll see you guys
Nice
later.
talking to you, Kevin. Thanks,
All right.
Ali.
Talk to you guys.
Thanks for your time.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, everyone. Catch you guys later. Have an
Later, guys.
awesome day.
All right. Bye, guys. Take care.